Now let's jump on to see how we will attack the line of action, how we'll attack the sentence correction on GMAT. So let's focus the next few minutes on understanding the line of action. Let's see how to attack a sentence correction on GMAT. So what is that normally we do the moment we see a sentence on GMAT? We read the sentence, right? We understand the sentence. If you don't understand, we read it again. If you don't understand, you read it again. Again and again, again and again, till you understand. Happy understanding? Right? That's where we spend 2 minutes of time. Okay, and then go to the answer choice. Plug the answer choice, put that back in the sentence in order to see whether it sounds good, tastes good, smells good. You read it once, you read it twice to see whether it sounds good, tastes good, smells good. Another 30-40 seconds for each answer choice. So you're spending another 2 minutes whether it's sounding good, tasting good, smelling good. Right? That's wrong. That's where, normally when people complain, I don't have time, the 75 minutes is not sufficient for me to complete the sentence correction, to complete the test as such, because you're spending too much of time here, but you wrongly accuse reading comprehensions. Saying that time is not sufficient because of reading comprehension. It is not true. Your time is not sufficient because of your sentence corrections. The problem is you know too much of English. The problem is every answer choice sounds good, tastes good, smells good. And that's where you will not be able to decide which one is the right answer choice. And that's a wrong methodology. What sounds good, tastes good, smells good on GMAT, that's what is wrong. Right? So let us follow a completely different methodology where I now have to really read and understand the sentence. Okay, right, let's see what is that. So let's get into the line of action for the sentence correction. Now these steps I would want you to follow 100%. If I see anybody is not following these steps, then I'll tell you what, you're going to severe penalty and you lose my support. Okay? Right, so let's look at the line of action. Number one, step number one. Anyway, first read the sentence and then I'll go to step number one. Let's read the first sentence. So see, read the first sentence on page number 2 I give. The line of action. First example. Read as fast as you can. Read not to understand.
The rising
Right, you understand anything? No, you want it again? No, we will not. So step number one, the line of action is read the sentence only once. Whether you understand the sentence. I'm not really focusing on understanding the meaning of the sentence. I don't want to know. Does it say I understand? The better it is for me. Right? Right. Now, step number 2. Before I jump on step number 2, I got to quickly write down my answer choice A, B, C, D, E. Always, for any question that you are going to solve, you need to write this in your book. Am I clear? A, B, C, D, E. Write down. Write down to the side, the next page. Keep this for the rules. Don't just write under the rules. Keep that aside and keep this aside. So there's not no ugly. Okay, that's on the second step. Keep split it. Or write on the next page. Okay. Now, the step number 2 is go to answer choices and do vertical comparison. Now, when I said vertical comparison, you're doing a word-to-word vertical comparison. Okay, all the first word in all the answer choice, second word in all the answers, third one on all the answers. Why am I doing it? Because I need to identify some kind of a pattern. Am I clear? I'm doing the vertical comparison in order to find the pattern. So, objective is to find the pattern. Right. So let's go to the answer choices. You should go to the answer choices and read the first word in all the answer choices. Do a vertical comparison. Then go to the first word in all the answer choices.
Suggest.
Right. So what part of speech is that? You identify what part of speech is that? Verb. Right, so verb is related to me, so I'll take that. In A and B I've got suggest. In C, A, D and E I've got suggest. Correct? So suggest, this, all these three is basically this is a verb. What is the difference between suggest and suggest? Which one is singular, which one is plural? One with S is singular or plural? One with S is singular. Okay, so this is a singular verb, while this is a plural verb. Write a small note. A verb that ends with S requires, the verb that ends with S is a singular verb. Right. Okay, the verb that ends with S is a singular verb. Okay, now the moment I see that there is a change in the number in the verb, I would wanted to know. Now, anyway, however, you went there and you did a vertical comparison, you found the pattern. The third step is to identify the error. Identify the error. Now, how do I identify the error? Now, here I see that the verb is changing in the number. The verb is changing in the number. There is a rule that flashes in your mind. What is the rule? The rule is called subject verb agreement rule. Okay, the rule that I'm going to talk about is subject verb agreement rule. What does subject verb agreement rule says? Right, the subject should agree with the verb, or verb should agree with the subject, which means if my subject is singular, my verb should be singular. If my subject is plural, my verb should be plural. Correct? Now, since I see the change in the number in the verb, I got to decide which one is wrong. So immediately I go back to my sentence and search for my subject. Go back to the sentence and quickly search for the subject and tell me who suggests. Huh? Right, it's practically the rise in the index is what is suggesting, right? So my subject here is the rise in index. Now this is a typical example of the verb noun phrase again. Very good. Okay, the noun phrase is it singular or plural? Singular. Right? Since it is singular, I need to have a singular verb. Correct? Well, I did a vertical comparison, I found the pattern, then I identified the error as well. Now step number 4. Eliminate wrong answer choices. Subject is singular, so I need to have suggest, which is again singular. So which answers I should eliminate?
A and B.
Eliminate A and B. Brilliant. Now eliminate A and B. I'm still left with 3 answer choices. C, D and E. Now what should I do? The next step. Step number 5. Repeat steps 2, 3 and 4 until left with 1 answer choice. Repeat steps 2, 3 and 4 until left with 1 answer. So let's repeat. Continue the process of comparing. Now we are done with suggest. What is the next word? Right. So what is the difference? Will and is. So let's write it down. The difference over here in C I've got will, in D I've got is, and E I've got will. Right? Now, if I suggest you now, when you guys are doing, go and do it. What is the difference anyways between will and is? Huh? Will is a future reference, whereas is a present. Will is a future tense, is a present. Right? Now, when I suggest you now, when are you going to do it? In the future, right? So, because suggest requires future reference. Remember, this is the rule, guys. The words suggest, predicts, and expects requires future reference. The words suggest, predicts, and expects requires future reference. Write it down. Okay, I know what I'm repeating. In fact, the class is being recorded. Okay, and if you come back to me with a question, the first thing I'll do is remember I said this in the class. Listen, no, you didn't say that I should open your book. Okay, if it's not there in the book, I'll open the video and show it to you. If it's there, now. Okay? Right. So here I need a feature reference. Hence, I'm going to eliminate the chance choice. D is gone. Correct? Now if it's C and D. Sushil, continue comparing C and D.
Continue its expanding, continue to expand.
Continue its expand. Its. And there is no its in E. No its. What is this? What part of speech is its? Huh? Pronoun. Now, when do I use pronoun? Pronoun is used to replace the noun. Now, give me an antecedent for pronoun. Tell me to which noun this pronoun is referring to. Unambiguously. Huh? It can be referring to commerce department, index, economy. Can refer to anything, right? Okay? It can refer to anything. So can I say unambiguously is refer to this particular noun? No. So there is a pronoun reference error. Make sense? So can I eliminate answer choice C saying pronoun reference error? So I'm left with E. Do I have to take this answer choice back and put that in the sentence and see whether it sounds good, tastes good, smells good? No. Why? For a very simple reason that every answer that I eliminate I made for a reason. I am not eliminated because of intuition or my gut. There is a reason, there is a rule, apply the rule and then eliminate the answer choice and if the answer is E. Have I completed reading answer choices? Have I completed reading the entire answer choice? Have you completed reading the entire answer? Did you read the entire answer at the end?
No.
Right? Did you understand the sentence?
No.
But still you have the answer, right? That's sentence correction G matters. I don't have to really understand. I don't have to really bother. I don't have to know English. You guys understand? I just need to know the rules. The rules of the GMAT game. Or you guys play some other game? Correct? If you want to win the game, what do you need to know? English? You need to know what? The rules of the game. Know those rules, guys. You don't have to know English. You don't have to read all those books. If you know the basic rules of the game or GMAT, I'm done. Look at the typical example where we have not even understood the sentence, we have not completed reading the answer choices. We have written answer. Correct? Any question here?
The first question is that in the end we have got that one, so we don't have to bother.
I don't care. Did I get my answer? That's it. Happy.
Second question. Like you have written, read the sentence on the wall. So what should I do?
Good. Nothing. Just for the sake of reading it, you are reading.
Then why should I do?
Don't read it. No, I'm not joking, guys. This is a serious thing.
I mean, do I have to do something wrong? Something?
Don't worry about it. Don't read it. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. I'm going to show you an example where I don't even know the sentence. I still have an answer. You want to see that?